Is it really true that leaders should not be micromanagers? Yes, sort of, maybe most of the time. But there certainly are times when it is absolutely necessary. And the challenge for many leaders is that in some cases they believe that the alternative to micromanaging is to abdicate or delegate altogether. After all, if to micromanage is to be overly involved in the execution of a staff member's duties, then to some it might seem that the better way is to disengage from operational leadership altogether. Wrong answer. That's usually not much better. So the fact is, effective leadership must walk a delicate tightrope between the two extremes of abdication and micromanagement. Leaders must discern when it's appropriate to release the reins and also when it's time for a hands-on approach. So how can you know which way to really lean your leadership? Well, here are some suggestions and tips that I have for you that may serve as a guideline. Point your leadership in the direction of a hands-on approach when this happens. You have a young or inexperienced person taking on new responsibilities. Because one of the worst things that you can do is to take the sink or swim approach to a less experienced staff person. I've seen that way too many times. You need to show them the ropes and set them up for success. And it's also good to use this style when you have an underperforming staff person. To get someone back on track, you must sometimes increase your own time investment and then closely monitor not only their results, but also their methods and their behaviors. Point your leadership in the direction of loosening the reins when you have a rising leader who is just hitting it out of the park. They're just killing it. Someone who is achieving great results usually needs nothing more than to be pointed in the right direction and then released to keep doing what they've been doing. Let them flourish. Now, feedback is still important, and so too is recognition, but give them lots of runway. Now, this style is also effective when you want to test someone's capacity. When developing talent, sometimes you need to back away and see what someone can do with a little less supervision. There's often no better way to grow another leader than to gradually remove the safety net. And as you look at the people on your team, simply recognize that when it comes to micromanagement, abdication, and points in between, there is no one style that fits all approach. So for you, the key is to know your team and understand how your leadership must lean in to get the most out of each person. I always say, flex to the situation, manage to the individual. And don't be afraid of a little micromanagement along the way. So my question to you, how do you know when to be more of a hands-on leader? You got this.